Greetings and salutations to everyone.
Hello. Show number 2.
I should send this to Steve Vai and tell him that I wrote this.
I think that sounds like an awesome idea. Yes.
It's show number 2, folks. I'm Dave. That's Doc.
With the Vistaprint.
With the Vistaprint.
Diploma.
That's right, the Vistaprint diploma.
We got it.
How you doing, man?
Man, doing pretty well. Little fatigued
Sure.
today. We drove back from Disney World yesterday. Took about 13 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
Lots of wrecks on the Florida Turnpike.
Yeah.
Not a lot of places to pull off on Florida Turnpike. Atlanta was actually not that bad. South of Atlanta, Locust Grove was horrific. We probably lost 45 to 50 minutes below Atlanta.
Jeez.
Which is crazy. So we got home pretty late last night, and then OCD over here. I had to unload the car.
Well, of course you did.
And of course, and then I unpacked my suitcase and my backpack and all my toiletries, and Laura's laying on the bed going, "Can we just be done?"
Can this just
at
be
like
over?
12:30, 12:30 in the morning.
Be over?
Kids are asleep, they're all good.
Well, no, you text me last night at like, I don't know what it was. Hang on, I'm going to pull it up. Like, it's like 11 o'clock. And the emoji, I don't know what that emoji is, but it looks like a not very happy emoji with words being blocked.
It's the fire face with the scribbled out for the curse words, because we're keeping the show clean, and I'm trying to keep as much clean as possible. Yes.
So expletives galore.
Oh man, it was.
But I have to do that too. I have to get everything in the house. I don't have to unpack it, but I have to get it in the house.
See, so we still have stuff that needs to be packed up. Of course, the girl stuff, because we got them out of the car and took them to bed, obviously. And but yeah. So and then Laura's stuff, got it in there. Her suitcase. I'm pretty sure we did bring back one of the 7 Dwarfs. I'm hoping it's happy. We've not opened it up yet, so I'm not sure. But yeah, my stuff I always have to unpack. It's kind of the running joke. So I have to do it. It's just the way that it is.
It is. And we're gonna get to this Disney conversation because I got a lot of questions.
Okay, I will do my best to answer them. Yes. Honestly, truthfully, and cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, we've already had a couple of conversations, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, hey, thanks for joining. For all you folks, we are officially on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts now. So we're big time. I'm just waiting for the fame and fortune, because that's what's going to happen.
It's coming.
It's definitely coming.
I'm waiting for a bigger budget.
Yeah, we need one.
Little bit addition to the budget, though. We did get, little plug maybe for another sponsor, the Surest 2B microphone.
7B.
7B. Shoot,
7B.
Missed it by 5. Okay, the 7B, the Surest 7B.
Yeah,
which is quite nice to help me sound better.
Yeah,
perfect. I love it. It's very nice. I already feel stronger. Good.
Well, you should.
I do.
That and that 7,000 grams of calories or caffeine you just ingested.
Yes,
with that.
the generic market pantry Mio, not Mio, whatever it is, and then half of this Bang energy drink.
Jeez.
Which is only the second time I've ever had one, but I felt like I needed the jolt.
Yeah.
And I don't think my blood pressure needed the jolt. I think I was good by myself. So it's going to be good. We're good.
So you'll be asleep in 30 minutes. So
no, there'll be no crash.
I'll finish the show by myself.
That's it. We've got 40 minutes. Here we go.
Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. Our last show, and this is officially show number 2. So I can't promise you they'll get better. I'll just promise you they'll keep coming.
That's exactly right.
So talking about kind of some of the happenings this week and just some of the things that are in front of me, we were talking about this just a second ago, is Urban Meyer.
How about that?
And, I brought up an article because, I mean, for all of us that follow sports, this isn't the first time. I mean, this is kind of old news. And this is from December of 2018.
How about that?
And it's from Matt Hayes from Bleacher Report. Title of the article is Urban Meyer Leaves Another Program Disgraced. and it won't be his last. And I mean, it goes on to say, I just want to read the first line and then we can just kind of get into it. But it says, "Take a deep breath, everyone. We'll get through this shocking revelation, this can't be true moment together. Urban Meyer has retired again." And
I mean, and that just sums it up, right?
I mean, it's just, I mean, he, when he was at Florida, I think he left in 2010.
I think
maybe was it in 2010 or was he at Florida a little longer than 2010?
It was I think it was around that time. He was having, again, it was health stuff. That time is kind of what they were talking about. I think it was 2010. I know that they did win. Yeah, I was finishing up medical school. They won the national title there in like 2008 or 2007.
Yeah, they won 2 titles with Tebow.
And so in that time span, so it would have been shortly after that he did leave. Which of course, there were questions about that. I mean, I know they said it was his health and those various things, but there were questions then about did he get sideways with the administration, what was going on, and then comes to Ohio State. Again, super successful again, because I mean, the guy does win.
He does.
Minus the NFL fiasco. But college-wise, I mean, whether it's Utah, whether it's Florida, whether it's Ohio State, the guy gets it done. But there seems to be this underlying baggage or storyline, and it comes back, oh, yeah, my health's not good, these things are happening. But also there's always like, well, we're not getting along with this person, we're not getting along with that person. What does that really look like? And you don't ever get the whole story on it. And I think that's probably both parties trying to be as professional as possible, and at the same time, I mean, when you're that successful in the college game, they give you a little bit of, it's like, oh yeah, he resigned. It's a leeway type thing,
right?
Because
he did make a lot of money for the program.
Oh gosh,
just getting to a bowl game is millions of dollars.
And like I said, winner. Right. I mean, won another title there, and so he there is no question. I mean, the guy gets it done and can win, but it just seems like, and then now he goes to the NFL, and just a completely different story. I mean, obviously the controversies where they lose, and he's at his bar after the game, and the woman's dancing on him, and some of his hires even before that, and the way that in the OTAs they violated the protocols and got fined for that.
He kicked his kicker.
Yeah, kicked the kicker.
He was stretching.
Yeah, kicked him in the leg.
Yeah,
and basically cussed him out and said, "Make your kicks."
Yeah,
and the guy's not a scrub. I mean, Josh Lambo had been in the league for several years, so it's not like he just came out of nowhere. But even still, I mean, why are you kicking somebody?
Well, at Florida, I think in 6 seasons there, I think he had 30 players arrested.
Right.
It was
a high number.
There was a big drug problem going on. There was lots of controversy. There was recruiting violations. And again, most of this stuff didn't really surface till he left. And it was all under the guise of his health. He goes, "Hey, I'm worried about my health. I'm just going to take a few years off." And what did he do? The next season, he was with Fox Sports, I think, doing the
pregame,
the Big 12, whatever. So, I'm like, so you don't take any time off. You go right back to work.
Right.
And then the Ohio State job comes available.
Right.
It was Jim Tressel.
Yeah, Tressel was under controversy too, that he got fired.
So it's like you got a controversial, program.
They were on probation. When he took the job, they were on probation.
And then you hire Urban Meyer, and it just follows him there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't know what's true and what's not. I mean, I'm sure if he was sitting here right now, and he never would be, because why would he be? But I mean, I have no money to offer him. I'm like, here's a Gatorade. I can give you that,
or a bang,
That's a half drank bang.
Yes.
But I mean, it just seems that this stuff kind of follows him, and it's either him or the people he associates himself with. But like you said, then he goes to the NFL. And it's a train wreck. How many coaches in the NFL, first-year coaches, it's probably never happened. I don't know. But after 13 games of your very first season coaching in the NFL, you get fired.
Particularly with his pedigree.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, with what, again, we're not talking about the social aspect of it, but professionally straight within your job as football coach, winning and doing it at multiple programs, not the other baggage stuff, coming in and being touted as yes, we know how to win, we know how to do this, and then you just get exposed. And I one of the biggest things on that was got off to a bad start with practices, with hiring, with the incident early in the season where they lose and he's at his restaurant, his bar there in Ohio, and gets the pictures taken, and then it just continues to steamroll from there. And the other thing about the NFL, you don't have as much power as the coach,
right?
And part of that too is, everybody that's playing in the NFL, they're like your top couple of players on your team.
Right.
Now, even those people ascend to a different level. Some are stronger than others, the Pro Bowlers, whatever. So they're even above that echelon. But even if you make the NFL roster, you're not a scrub.
Right.
And so there is a certain amount of respect. And I think what he realized was you can't intimidate these guys. These guys are super athletes. You don't have to necessarily micromanage them. You shouldn't have to micromanage them. And if you look at successful NFL coaches, they're able to get along with their players. I mean, look at Mike Vrabel. Former player, he knows what's up. The Titans are doing pretty darn good overall. Right. Turn that around. And Urban, he just couldn't translate what he's done his whole career, which
we
is
saw it with Saban too, right?
Right. And so Saban, the difference being, I would say, with Saban, you don't have all this other garbage. I hate to use that word, but maybe baggage is a better word.
Well, and Saban admitted it. He's like, this isn't for me.
Right. And that's why, and he was like, I'm out. And now, right. and obviously look where he is.
Yeah, he's
the greatest.
He's done well for himself.
He's just a skosh, just a little bit, yeah. And what a great career move for him, because and he has that culture there, and you don't hear about all the controversies and things. None of that. He seems to run it the right way. Now, that's not to say everybody. He's not perfect. He's a man just like you and I are. Person, but you don't have all this other stuff. And if you look at it when he was at Michigan State, when he was at LSU, even when he was in Miami, you didn't have those personal things coming out and causing conflict. And so, of course, he hopped right into a perfect situation with Alabama and has built back the dynasty and his legacy. I will always believe, with everything the way that it is, he's going to go down as the greatest football coach of all time, at least for right now. You never know who's coming through, but that's a generational coach.
What he's been able to do has been unbelievable,
right? And I think that's where not having that controversy helps too, because the baggage isn't there, and so everybody's going to buy in, and you don't get cross with the administration. You don't hear about Nick Saban sitting at a restaurant with somebody dancing up on him, and he also said, this NFL gig is not for me.
Right.
Because he wasn't terribly unsuccessful. He just wasn't very successful. I don't remember what his records were, but
it wasn't great. He left LSU. He won a national championship there. He had Les Miles on the staff, Jimbo Fisher, and a host of others. They had a great team. They win a national championship. And he goes to Miami, and it just the success just didn't follow him there.
He was there 2 years, right?
Yeah, I think he was there 2 years, and the first year was, I don't think it was great at all, and the second year was better than the first. And who knows, had he stayed, I don't know. because everybody wants to work with Nick Saban.
Right.
There's a great story about Nick Saban. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but it was a kid when I used to commentate high school football who got invited to Alabama one weekend. This kid's like 6 foot. I'm going to butcher this, but I think he was 6'5", 330. Okay. So he gets invited to Alabama amongst other schools. And, so they're all kind of sitting there, the people that got invited, and Nick's kind of talking to them individually. And he was like, I don't know what Nick's saying to everybody. He's coming to me. Like, what's he going to say? Nick Saban shakes his hand, says, I've seen your videos. He says, you're pretty good. He says, I'm not going to kiss your butt. I'm editing this. I'm not going to kiss your butt, but if you want to come to Alabama, we'll have you. And walks off. because he's just about winning. He's not about wooing you. If you want to come play there, great. If you don't, then okay, go somewhere else. He's going to win without you.
Right.
And that's what you got to have at that level of coaching.
And he's sustained it forever.
Yeah.
And that's, it's
unbelievable.
Again, professionally, socially, you don't there's no baggage. So, yeah, I mean, I think.
Is anybody going to hire Urban Meyer again?
So I'll quote the great Paul Feinbaum, who basically, if you go back in time, I mean, there's a YouTube video circulating right now from 2015 where Feinbaum talks about, I think it was Zeke was still there and Cardale Jones and all that.
A great team, by the way.
Oh gosh, yeah,
A great team.
And they had lost to Michigan State again, because that was kind of Meyer's nemesis. I mean, he was like 500 against them, which is still great.
Right.
Thinking back, because Michigan State they were pretty decent back then too, and they're I mean, now they're coming up with Mel Tucker, which is great. And so, but they were talking about the controversy, and that Feinbaum was basically saying, this is not a good guy. This guy is not a good guy. He has a lot of problems. This is not going to work, just like it didn't work at Florida. And boom, he was right. And then when they went to hire him at Jacksonville, Feinbaum said, this is a terrible hire. Why are they doing this? This is not going to work out. I mean, this was from the get-go. And so, of course, then this happens, and he goes, he's done. Who in their right mind at a major school, you're the athletic director, and you walk to the president of the university, and you say, we want to hire Urban Meyer. And this is to quote Feinbaum. Feinbaum says, and so what's that president going to say? Isn't that the guy with that got in trouble for kicking the kicker in the leg? And isn't that the guy that was at the bar with the woman dancing on him that wasn't his wife? And isn't that the guy that maybe or maybe not called his assistant coaches all losers and hired that guy that was basically abusing people of color, that Chris Doyle, I mean, that's basically what the narrative on that was. And of course, we're not directly involved in that, so I don't know the details. But hired that guy even after all that controversy was there,
and perhaps hid domestic violence with one of his coaches at Ohio State.
Yes, absolutely. And so you take all that into consideration. It's like, yeah. If he'd have talked to anybody of who's been following, they would have said, Mr. Khan, stay away from this. This is a bad hire.
I wondered how it was going to turn out because in the NFL, to me, I think that here's the way I think it works, and people are going to disagree, and that's fine. But just know I know everything.
Absolutely. That's why his name is first.
That's right.
On this show.
That's right.
We do have a rank and file
That's right, for all two of us. For our full staff.
See it.
But so I think at the high school level, you can get away with some stuff. I think at the college level, you can get away with stuff. And there's even levels there, like an FCS program as opposed to and whatever they're calling it now, FBS Division I, whatever you want to call it.
FBS, yeah.
So I think you can get away with more things for longer there because you have an administration and like this, there's like a college atmosphere. And I honestly think, to be perfectly honest and blunt, I think kids just don't know any better. But like you said, when you get to the NFL, these are grown individuals that are playing a sport for
at the highest level.
At the highest level for a lot of money.
Yes.
And they know they don't have to put up with this crap because the team in the next state will pay them more to come there and play.
Right.
So they're not going to put up with it. So I think that it happened quicker than it does in the college pro. Because I mean, his length of stay is about 3 to 6 years everywhere. That's about it. And he brings it to the ground. Ryan Day seems like a great guy, has taken that program and continued that success, and you don't hear any controversy. You don't hear any issues. I mean, you don't yet. I don't know. But, but with Urban Meyer, it's like from day one. But people just seem to look the other way in the college game. And I don't know why, but I think there's better ways to hide it there because of the institution that's college football. And
I would agree with that. And I think too, it also depends on what it is. I mean, obviously, things where if players are being abused in a sexual nature or something like that,
right?
We have that more out in the open now, and it's just it's so awful that these people underwent those things,
sure,
physically, emotionally. and have to carry that throughout life. So that stuff, if anything like that happens, you're done. You know, you can't be groping women, whatever it is. None of that stuff can be going on. But if you grab somebody's face mask and you're up in their face, well,
right.
you know, if you're 19 and you're third string special teams at Ohio State, you're not going to say anything.
No,
and it shouldn't be that way. I'm not I'm not
right.
condoning that.
But I think it is that way.
But you're not right. But you're not going to say anything.
Right.
And I think that's at most institutions. I mean, but you go to the NFL and you grab that person, or you try to do something, and it's like, even when he kicked, Josh Lambo's like, get away from him. I mean, we're editing this, but I mean, he basically cussed back at him and was like, get away from me, dude. Right. You don't have the right to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that exposed it much faster too. I really do, is because those players they're like, no, you're not. This is a professional. I'm getting paid to do this.
Right.
You're not going to treat me like that. And you can't, because I am good because I made it on this team.
Right.
So yeah, I just think it got exposed because it was a train wreck, and then of course he just made multiple bad decisions. He's not protected like he was at the school.
Right.
And that's the end of that. So anyway.
Yeah. So
short-lived. And I mean, I don't know. He may be officially done. I mean, maybe an FCS school might want to pick him up, but I don't think anybody in FBS in their right mind can hire this guy after all this happened.
Particularly not right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got to be at least a few years. I would not. I mean, if I'm in the I mean, obviously the major conferences, no way. If I'm in the group of 5, no way.
I think
no way.
I think he might have an avenue.
Ivy League, definitely not. You know? Yeah. It's like who? No.
The new coach of Yale, Urban Meyer.
Right.
No, I think his avenue back in would probably, if it's not at the FCS level as a head coach, is going to be some kind of coordinator.
Sure.
At the FBS level.
But I don't think it's going to happen because I think his ego is such.
Yeah.
I don't think he can do it. I think with everything that's happened, I just don't think he can. I don't think knowing that he doesn't like to follow rules, doesn't like to do these things, I don't think he can swallow his pride and go back to being a coordinator. I just don't think he can do it. That's where I think at FCS school you'll see him pop up in a few years, and then he might get back maybe somewhere at a smaller school at some point in FBS. But I mean, anybody. I mean, Cincinnati, no way. They're not looking for him.
No.
There's you know what I'm saying. They don't need that.
No.
And definitely you're not going to see ACC, Pac-12, Big 10, Big 12, SEC. I think I already did. No, I didn't say that yet. Anyway, all those. There's no way.
I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching all the coverage on Urban Meyer, and I thought, what is the conversation like at home for him right now? I mean,
I'll say this. Go ahead.
I mean, his wife's not happy with him.
Correct.
Anyway.
Right.
And because, he's getting essentially a lap dance from some, chick at a bar. And
it's not good.
It can't be a good conversation. Like, nobody's getting up in that house. Good morning, honey. That's not happening.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
at their house, that's probably 19,000 square feet. But he might be living.
They're on opposite wings. Though.
He might be living in the West Wing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's 12,000 feet between them.
Yeah.
I would say not good. Just because, I mean, if that happened to any of us, I mean, to you and I mean, we'd be getting out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, this is not. Number one, we don't own a restaurant or a bar. We don't have that kind of capital. But no,
I make sure there's no cameras around when I'm in public because I don't want any of that.
No social media. That's right. Exactly. I mean, right.
If somebody gets a phone, I just run.
That's it. Right. Exactly. I mean, in this day and age too, right? I mean, that's the other thing. It's like there's always somebody watching. I mean, I remember being back in high school even, and one of my basketball coaches, Coach Lambert, he said there are always people watching you of which you are not aware.
Right.
And this was before all this social media stuff. I mean, this was long ago, back in the dark ages. And it's so true. And his point was, you never know, good or bad, because there's a lot of good people that are watching too.
That's true.
So if you're doing the right stuff, that is going to show itself. If you're doing the wrong stuff, it's going to get caught, and that's going to get you in trouble.
That's why I wear a wig everywhere I go. because I don't want anybody to know who I am.
You like that little
So I'm so recognizable.
Little curly Q kind of.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Gotcha. With the
just one coming down my forehead.
Yes.
The rest are kind
Razor Ramon style. That's it. That's it. Yes.
I have a toothpick as well.
I like it. Yes. That's right. That's right.
Well, poor Urban Meyer. It's hard to feel sorry for him because I feel like he brings it on himself.
Right. I was gonna say when you make that kind of money, it's just
and he's filthy rich. So
yeah, exactly. He's in that regard, he's not hurting, but there's more to it than the money. And
that's true.
And he's going through. I mean, he's in some stuff for sure.
He definitely is. Oh well. So Urban, good luck to you, buddy. We'll maybe somebody
wish you the best.
Wish you the best.
Wish you the best.
And just kind of staying with college football real quick. The lines on the 2 playoff games hit the other day. So just want to see if you agree with them. Cincinnati and Bama. Alabama's a 13.5 point favorite with the over under being 58. And that seems about right.
I
actually think that seems a little. I mean, it's a little generous towards Cincinnati, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think it's also. I mean, Cincinnati has earned their right to be there.
100%.
But you still having to play Alabama,
and they haven't played anybody nearly that good.
No, I think the way when Bama figured out Georgia and just basically annihilated him.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it was. Unless they just have a super off game, which I think Auburn was their off game.
I think it was.
I mean, A&M they straight up got beaten. I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
But the Auburn game was the one off, and I don't think they're going to have another one off. And you give Nick Saban weeks to prepare for somebody, and his coaching staff, who's also super strong. Yeah, I think Bama. I would say Bama by 2 touchdowns. I think that's probably being pretty nice.
I do too.
But I mean, you never know. I mean, but I think. I mean, I definitely don't. If it was less than that, I'd been like, no. I think they've messed this up. And I think there will be a lot of points scored. I do.
Yeah, 58's the over under.
I think you'll see that. I think you'll see an over on that.
So Georgia, Michigan, the line is Georgia 7.5, but the over and under 43.5.
I think
so. They're basically giving Georgia a touchdown, essentially.
I think that's.
I think this is going to be a hard matchup for Georgia. I think Georgia's better, and I think Georgia's going to win. But I think the style that Michigan plays, I don't think Georgia's offense is going to see the field a whole lot. That's just kind of what I think.
I think Michigan's ability to get back this year to truly running the ball, and then with Cade McNamara, I mean, having a very solid quarterback who, for the most part, I mean, doesn't mean we don't ever mess up, but makes good decisions, tries to protect the ball. I think those things, I think that's actually probably being generous for Georgia. I really do. Like I'd almost pick it as a pick 'em. That's kind of redundant. Pick 'em as a pick 'em.
Pick 'em as a pick 'em.
But I think that could go either way. I really do. And of course it's SEC.
Right.
And I don't love Georgia, but I'm always going to root for SEC teams because that's I
just think Georgia's better. I mean,
I would agree. No, I would agree.
I mean, I'm not an SEC fan, and I mean,
if they don't let their offense, if Michigan keeps them off the field, though, you got to be on to score points, and they don't. I think it'll be a low scoring game, and I still think Georgia's going to win, but I think it'll be a low scoring game. But I think it's probably a late touchdown or field goal. Somebody's trailing and they score to take the lead, or they kick a field goal.
I think if you're a true traditional football fan that likes really good tackling and running the ball, this is the game to watch.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to be the most physical game of any of these games.
I agree. No, I'm excited about it. And I think it's good. I think it's good for ball because you've obviously got Georgia with Kirby Smart coming up, and you still can't quite get over that hump to beat Bama yet.
Yeah.
Potentially setting up a rematch though in the national championship game, which would also be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that Michigan's back there, and I'm not a huge Maize and Blue fan, obviously. Being from being Tennessee and all that, but I like that they're back in it. I really do, and I do kind of like that Harbaugh finally got him there, because he's caught so much flack.
Yes, he's a great coach,
and he really is.
Great coach.
I mean, he really is, and a guy that's kind of, back to the point with Urban. He had some baggage too. Had some baggage with Stanford. Had some baggage with the 49ers. Come to Michigan. A little bit, but not so much. And it seems like he's actually adjusted. You know what I mean? He's adjusted himself.
I'm laughing because the baggage that he had with Stanford was the same that he had with the 49ers. He just pisses people off.
Right.
That's what he does.
That's it.
He just rubs people the wrong way.
Right.
And people just can't stand to be around the guy. It's like, you're a genius coach. We love your traditional values. We love how you call offensive plays. We love everything about you. You're just a jackass. Stop being a jackass. And
it's the truth. It's the truth. No, and you're exactly right. Again, good news being it's jackass in the sense he just wants to win.
Absolutely.
It's not, he's not wrestling somebody to the ground and punching them or kicking them. You don't
like
see,
that.
he seems to be a family oriented guy.
He just doesn't care what you think.
But basically he's like, I don't really give a crap what you think. You thought I was going to say it, didn't you?
I was ready for it. It was fine.
we had the button ready. But yeah, he's just a jackass.
He is. He's just a jackass.
But he's reined. I really feel like he's reined some of that. I think
he has. He's softened up a little bit.
And maybe some of that was the humbling of some of these losses that he suffered, because I mean, he has had some heartbreaking stuff happen. I mean, and just the hard stuff.
Well, he had a terrible year last year.
Right.
Just a terrible year.
So I think that speaks to him adapting.
Yeah.
And that's why he keeps surviving. And look at where they're at. And kudos to Michigan for having faith.
Yeah.
Because it's what I call the Saban effect. I mean, if you're not winning in 3 years, everybody wants you to be fired. And sometimes it just takes longer than that.
It does.
And so I think that's a testament to Michigan having the sense that this is a really good coach. He's reined some of this in. It doesn't mean he's not, still with some jerk qualities, but he's not a bad human.
Right.
He just has some jackass tendencies. And so, but he just wants to win.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I think when you get the right kids in there, young men, I shouldn't call them kids, young men, because they'd squash me like a, fruit fly. You get the right combo of people. And so the culture's rolling.
Yeah.
And this year they just happen to be fortunate. I mean, they won the big games minus Michigan State, which they should have won that game.
They should have.
And so they should have been undefeated, but they got over the hump. They got to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. I think that'll be the more exciting game of those two games.
Agreed. I agree. I agree. I'm excited about both of them, but I agree with you. I think that's going to be the better one.
So, talk about my kid for a second. One of them. I've got like 30. I have 3.
He's fruitful.
Yeah, well, every 8 years, apparently.
What's that movie where the guy's the sperm donor? What is that? It's with Vince Vaughn.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, he only yes. Dave only has 3 kids.
I thought you were.
What is that? You thought I was going somewhere else?
No, I thought you were going to talk about that doctor. What was his name? That like artificially inseminated.
Oh,
there was an SNL skit called "Me and My 75 Kids."
Yes. What is that? Oh, what is his name? I'm blanking out. But no, we weren't going to go there. I was thinking the lighter version with Vince Vaughn. Where he's just the donor.
He's the donor. I can't remember what it is.
But anyway, so
I'll look it up here in a second.
Your middle.
Yeah,
Landon.
So he's kind of like me a little bit, and he's interested
a little bit.
Yeah, okay, that's putting it mildly. We went to a movie last night, and he was shaking hands with a stranger, saying, "Hi, I'm Landon," and then talking to him about Spider-Man.
I'm running for office in a couple of years.
Right?
Please vote for me, or you'll see me on some skit somewhere, some comedic skit.
Well, and I think that's what he wants to do. And so he's talked to me a lot about being radio and everything. So that he
calls me his arch nemesis.
He does, and I love it. That's my arch nemesis.
All those throws in the pool and stuff.
So he's talking to us about the school has like a little news program they do, I guess, once a week, or maybe it's daily. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that it's a news thing and they do it live. And we did it when I was in high school as well.
Yeah,
we
had that too.
And he asked me if I did it, and I'm like, "Are you joking?" Of course I did. Right? They did. I didn't even
did
really
you look like Brian Austin Green in Beverly Hills High. No. Good morning and welcome.
No, what I did though was I used to love drinking Yoo-Hoo. And so I would bring a Yoo-Hoo with me every day, and I would set it on the desk, and I would say, "Today's episode of the news brought to you by Yoo-Hoo." I should
also
probably
a potential sponsor.
I think they should be. I still, and by the way, Yoo-Hoo out there, I still love you. I don't drink it a lot because
chocolate drink, not chocolate milk. No, chocolate drink.
I don't know what it is, but. You know what? I don't even care. Like, they could come tell me it's something awful and I wouldn't care. I still like Yoo-Hoo. I just know you got to keep shaking it up while you're drinking it.
Yes, you do, because you will get some residual
something is wrong.
Substance.
Something is wrong.
Adhering to the glass. Not the plastic. It's adhering to the glass. Makes you wonder.
So we were talking about that, and so I brought him in here to my office / studio, and we started talking, just having a conversation about it, and I was asking him questions, and he didn't realize I was recording him. So I thought it would be fun to record it, and then I thought it'd be fun to play it. If it gets boring, we'll cut it off. I think it's only like 4 minutes, but if I can indulge everyone,
this is a good plug. I'm excited to hear this.
It's
because he's pretty spontaneous, like yourself. So I'm ready.
He's interesting, and like I tried to ask him some questions to lead him a little bit, and anyway, this is Landon talking about auditioning for his role in the school news program, whatever it is.
I'm thinking about it, but I'm more on the yes side.
On the yes side to which position?
Honestly, probably anchor.
You think you're gonna go for anchor, right?
Yeah, because like it's probably easy because you can read the papers as they throw them down and stuff.
It is, and you can make jokes while it's going on.
He has people that service.
Yeah, that's right. Is it going to be live or recorded?
It's live.
Oh, it's live?
Yeah, that's a stressful thing.
Oh, no, that's even better, because then you can just make as many jokes as you want.
It's a way stressful thing.
It could be, you can just write some jokes the night before. Did they tell you what you're going to talk about, like the day before?
No, I don't know, really.
No. Is it a thing that's already happening, or is it new?
Oh, it's been happening.
Oh, okay.
Ever since I started coming to Copper Ridge, yeah, it's been happening.
Okay, so just for your class now, it's like the new class or whatever. Or is it going on right now?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, when you go to school, do you get to see the news now?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody else is doing it now.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
Competition.
That's right. So you're going to try out for anchor?
I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking about it. What else would you want to do if you didn't do anchor?
Honestly, probably a reporter, like you said earlier.
He hadn't even thought about that because he's I'm the best.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to be the anchor, just like you are.
That's it. Just be a reporter or anchor.
Well, the only time I've actually been in a news place is where when I was in 3rd grade or 2nd grade, when I went in there and then I did the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh yeah, we have experience.
Yeah. There we go.
We have broadcast experience. They just show a video for the Pledge of Allegiance now.
Just a video?
Yeah.
Is somebody singing in the video?
It's like 5 or 4 people from someone's class.
That actually
5 or 4 people.
Stressful. Yeah.
Is it like the kids that sing in school, like the chorus, or?
Well.
Is it some just people off the street? Hey, would you like to sing this morning?
No.
Oh.
It's like, well, it's kind of like a rare chance, I guess, like for you to be able to go in the news and sing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, so it's not just like, so to get on, so when I was in school, it was a junior and senior thing in high school, and that was it. And that was the only time that you had the opportunity to do it. So,
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even try out before then. So, and I did it, but that probably doesn't surprise you.
Well, I guess for only the news crew, it's 4th grade and 5th grade, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
so would you be doing it with other kids that aren't in your grade?
Well, it depends on who is who.
What is that? It's
that's
a
also
mixer.
how murderers are found.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, how many kids are auditioning, or is it an audition, or do you just show up and say, "Hey, this is what I want to do"?
Honestly, I really do not know.
You seem to have a lot of information about that.
Yeah, I do.
All right, well, that was
I'm
it.
going to be the anchor.
That was it. That was it. Really trailed off from there and got kind of goofy, but but that's
Anchor
basically
down.
it. Yeah. So there you go.
Ron
so
Burgundy.
that's right.
He's got this. He's got it. I love it.
Oh my gosh,
It's just good. Those are good, honest answers. I like how when he didn't know the answer, he honestly
Oh yeah,
just came out and said, I don't know.
yeah. I'm like, you have zero information about this son. Like what?
It's like my wife questioning me. It just keeps coming. And so the thing we worked out is at some point in the conversation, I have to look at her and say, that is all the information that I have. I'm going to teach that to your son. Say,
You should.
Listen, Landon, this is the thing you have to remember. Well, the first thing is, yes, dear.
Yes.
The other thing is that is all the information that I have.
I like to say you are as informed as I am.
Oh, I like that.
We are on the same level.
That is much better.
Yes. I've been working on this.
I was
going
to say that wasn't that was you didn't have to rehearse it too much.
I didn't. So we are at the 40-minute mark, but we can't. So let me just let's be honest. So we had a few people that told us that the thing just went on too long, right? Because
They did.
we kind of started.
Or we just need to have a full blown show. That was what they
one or
said.
the
They were
other,
like, they're
yeah.
like, it just needs to morph into a full blown show,
And-
like a radio show
And maybe that's true, but I can't get out of
with
here
music.
I can't. Yeah, I can't get out of here without talking about Disney. So
Okay.
So I just can't because I've just got so many questions. So
this is good. This is good.
You and your wife decided that it was time to torture yourself for an entire week
We did.
and take your kids.
We did.
And
We
take
did.
your kids to Disney
did.
because you love punishment.
We-
and you decided, fortune's been good for us, so we need to be humbled a little bit. So we're going to go on this fun-filled family vacation to Florida. And you didn't fly to Florida.
Oh no, we drove to the Disney World.
Did you think about flying to Florida? They have planes. I've seen them.
They and they are running now too.
They are.
and there are flights available.
I mean,
We-
it is
we-
expensive. I mean, to fly 4 people.
We
around.
thought about it, bro. It's expensive to go to Disney. Period.
Oh, yeah. The flight would be the cheapest thing you did.
So I was going to say So the thing with that was, I'm not sure. My kids, they have this threshold, okay, and like in the car, it's just the four of us. On the plane, it depends on how big the plane is. There's tens to 100 people or whatever,
Right. Masked up.
masked in a pressurized cabin.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right. What could possibly go wrong?
And so there's still this fear of one of the children having the classic meltdown of some sort because so and so called me one. They called me mean. They called me stupid. They put me on the naughty list with Santa, which is what my 3-year-old was doing the whole time. If people were if she wasn't getting her way,
Right.
I put you on the naughty list. So that is why we drove. Now we stopped on the way down. We actually stopped, and so we split the drive up. That actually worked out pretty well. So going down was not a problem because we stopped down in Valdosta, Georgia, and got up the next day. Had got some food.
So you didn't drive straight through.
Not down. Coming back, we drove the whole deal, and that was something.
And on a plane, there's only 2 ways it stops, right? One is good and one's not so good. So, right. It's an
and
unexpected.
it's still the safest way to travel.
It still is.
So we and the other thing is the amount of stuff that we take
yeah.
at this stage. I mean, my child.
Your check baggage would have been $3,500.
Right. We would have had to have bought like the special credit card to get the discount on the luggage just to try to make it be less than $3,500.
Sir, we're going to put your bags on another flight.
I mean,
that's going to Florida.
the bed of my truck, not as full because we didn't, when we go to the beach, we have to have the beach chairs and the beach
Right.
cart and all that. So we didn't have that stuff, but it was still pretty full. I mean, my 5-year-old packed an entire backpack of just her baby stuff for her babies.
Well, of course.
And that didn't include the other toys that we packed. And then my wife packed an entire, I don't know, 20-gallon tote or something of food. And the
all generic and
oh man, don't we're going to the Disney, we're spending the money, and I can't have brand name Mio. I gotta have the Market Pantry. Yeah, she tells me I'm brand specific, which in some instances I am. Like,
I think that's a compliment, just so you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is why we get along. Yes.
You're welcome.
Ketchup. I can't be having the Great Value ketchup.
No.
I love, and I actually don't mind Walmart. But yeah, it's a Heinz ketchup type of thing.
Nothing against the lovely Laura Lynn.
That's right.
But I don't want your mustard.
That's right. Frenches.
I just don't.
Frenches. It is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, we're doing all that, but we got to save that 35 cents.
That's right.
And buy the generic. Got to do it. Got to do it. So we get down there, and actually the room when we got there before actual check-in time. Check-in was I think at 3, and we got there before that. Room was already ready.
Nice.
And we stayed at the Grand Floridian. And so we get there.
That's a nice hotel.
It is. It's super nice. Again, and I have to buy the generic Mio.
That's right.
So they they take care of everything. And
you seem a little bitter about
and
that.
We skosh, just a touch. Yes. Because you got to understand, even with that, if there's a coupon, we need to use the coupon too, or the buy one get one free. Yes. Now, I appreciate that because also there's the flip of that where all the money's being spent all of the time.
Right.
And, she is very good at not doing that. I will say that.
I don't have that same problem here.
But
I have the opposite problem.
Whoosh, out the door.
That's right.
Whoosh, whoosh.
Right.
It's funny how fast it'll go.
We're just letting it fly, right?
It's make it rain. Make it rain.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm getting you derailed.
So we get there and I actually got a park ticket for the first day. And so we actually ended up going to the park in the evening. We kind of got settled in and everything. The girls actually wanted to go swim.
Sure.
Right? And so we did that first at the courtyard pool. And it's a walk-in. Mm-hmm. And so of course this became like their favorite thing. So every day we're at Disney and they want to go home from the park to go to the pool. And I'm like, no.
You're logging into your bank account and saying, oh, no.
I'm like, no, we have access to pools in Knoxville. Now, they're cold right now unless somebody's got a heated one. But no. But that's what they wanted. So they, we could go on. I know you have some questions too. The short of it is we had a good time with a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. There's a resiliency thing there, and there's a threshold where you can't go beyond that because then they're not having fun and they're miserable. My oldest was having a tough time at one point on the last day, just really because she was so exhausted, wouldn't get off the Winnie the Pooh ride.
Oh, well.
And so the ride is stopped. Like, our ride is done. And I've gotten off because Laura was doing something else. And so I've got Kate, and Callan will not get off the ride on the last day. Yeah. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was because she's exhausted.
Right.
So anyway, I had to take her hand and actually get her off, and then she's not happy about that, so we're fighting with that. Short of that is, for her, it only lasted 15 minutes of being upset. For me, I'm sitting there and I'm trying not to stew on it for an hour going, I can't believe, that's going on. But little moments like that, stuff like that, we really were fortunate. Didn't really have much of that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the girls fight because that's what siblings do.
Sure.
But overall, we had a good time. We got to take advantage of all the parks. So we got to go to each of the parks. Went to Magic Kingdom a couple times, because that's their favorite. And so overall, it was a good trip. It was a good trip. So tell me what questions, because I know I can just see the giddiness and the excitement. So I'm ready. So send me some questions and I'll work some things here.
So dad to dad here. Okay. I don't know if you know this about me. You probably do. I really don't go on vacations. Like, Lindsay will go places and like with her family and stuff, and I just don't go. And the reason I don't go is because I have I'm trying to edit my words here. I have a miserable time. Okay? I just do. And so here's the thing. Listen, I love my wife and I love my kids.
Right. This is not an issue of that. No,
it's
no.
not that.
And everybody knows this. Everybody
most of the time, I love all of them at the same time. Which sometimes that's not the case.
That's pretty skilled if you've got the love all at the exact same time.
You can please some of the people all the day. Whatever.
That's right. That's right.
So, but but it's miserable because I mean, even if like let's just say just like Lindsay and I go on a trip, right? It doesn't matter what we're doing. There are times that it's fun. I hate waiting in lines. I don't necessarily love amusement parks. I love the rides, but I don't like the parks because there's like a million people there. And Disney's one of the worst. And there's Dollywood, and there's all these, your wood, Dollywood, his wood, whatever. And then there's all these, and I've been to Busch Gardens, I've been to King's Dominion, I've been to.
Did you go to Cedar Point? Up
Six
there
Flags. I've been to Cedar Point. I've been to Six Flags. Six Flags. I'm not even going to tell the whole story, but they had a ride called the Ninja. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah, the roller coaster. Oh yeah, I've ridden that.
Brand new ride called the Ninja when we went. It was brand new. I waited 2 hours and 50 minutes to ride a 30-second flipping ride.
Yes.
And then we left. I can't tell you. It's just
that.
And when you
hurts.
add when you add kids to it, it just gets worse because you basically have, for us, if we went somewhere now, there's 5 of us and 5 different personalities that want to do 5. It's not really fair for the little one because he's like 18 months. But it's 5 different personalities, and everybody kind of likes different things. Some people like some of the same things, but not everybody. So somebody is always going to be miserable when you're doing one thing or another. And I know that it's all about creating memories, and it's all about. But I mean, my original question is: you decided to torture yourself because that's what we do. Because it's like we think we have to. We would go to the beach, okay, and we spent like 7 days at the beach. We rented like this condo, this super nice suite. Spent all this money, and we went to the beach, and it's like oceanfront. We just walk out on this whatever. We go to the ocean.
Nice.
You know where we spent 85% of the time?
In the room.
No, in the pool.
Well, at least you were outside.
In the pool.
At least you were outside.
Yeah. I'm sitting in a chair by the pool looking at the ocean. I'm
going, I'm at the beach, but I'm at the pool.
Here's this huge, gorgeous body of water that's just there with sand and all the fun.
Waves.
And we're hanging out in the pool.
Yeah.
And that's my so I don't know I don't know if that's a question, but that's
so it is. And I think for me the thing that gets to me is sometimes I forget how young they are.
Right.
The good news is for the most part they like the same stuff. Like literally they love the pool, which is great. I shouldn't
right.
I'm glad my kids aren't afraid of the water.
Right.
I think that's great. Of course my youngest, we got to get her back in the refresher swim stuff because she was doing that and she was getting where she could do it. I let her go a couple times and I was like, "Yep, you're going to drown." My oldest, she can swim like a fish. It's great.
Right.
So that was the only danger point is that if Kate got in the deep water, somebody had to be there.
Right.
Before she could at least kind of swim.
Or she's going to sink like a rock.
Right. Callan can swim and float and do everything, so there's no problems. They like the monorail. Actually, they love the monorail because it's a ride to them.
It right.
It's right. So they love the monorail. They love the alien flying saucers at Hollywood Studios, and all that is it's a spinny ride, kind of like the teacups at Disney World. At the Magic Kingdom. Pardon me. It was all at Disney World. They love the teacups and the carousel at Magic Kingdom. So the things that they love, and I think that's great, and they both love them. But every day they wanted to go home and go to the pool.
Right.
At we'd have lunch and then they wanted to go back. And I'm like, no, we're And so I think part of my problem was there was some frustration there because of wanting to do that. Now, I think Laura always keeps a leveler head. That's just,
well, of course.
She just has that.
Right.
Now, the good news is I love Disney World. It gets a little overstimulating, and I try not to people watch too much because you just start worrying about everybody in the park. You're like, your legs are larger than your head swollen with fluid and they're red.
That's right.
You've got a circulation problem and you shouldn't be eating that pretzel. And
hold off on that funnel cake.
The chips, right? And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. So you have to watch some of that. But see, so what Disney has now is they have the Genie. This is their new thing. The Genie helps you. It kind of gives you tips throughout the day.
How long the lines are.
And, right. And so it gives you, okay, if you go here, it's 10 minutes. If you want to get on the People Mover, it's 30 minutes. If you want to get on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it's 90 minutes. Peter Pan is 60 minutes. They also have the Genie Plus. And you pay for it. Okay, it's $15 a person.
That's the plus.
And if you're 3 and up, you pay for it. Okay, so that's $60 for the whole day.
This is why you buy generic mustard, so you can afford this.
And this is how Laura justifies it too. She sits there and says, "Well, but if I save money here." And this makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like accounting. I mean, I don't like it, but if I save money over here, then if I apply it here, it actually balances out.
So you guys have an accrual based financial system.
Apparently, this is how it goes. This is how apparently, right? It's like we have to do this to be able to.
So the Abacus comes out once a year.
Yes. Oh man. Oh yeah. Bought by Granddaddy. Bought the kids an Abacus. Oh yes, he did. Anyway. So they have the Genie Plus. They also have individual lightning lanes. And so that's $15 a piece. Also, it's 2 rides at every park. Like, for example, at Magic Kingdom, if you're familiar, it's the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Space Mountain. Hollywood Studios, it's Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and Mickey and Minnie's
It's his mistress.
Right.
You've exposed Mickey's inner secrets.
He's gonna be fired. That's it. After 50 years of theme park wonderfulness, because it was also the 50th anniversary. That was another.
That's
reason.
right. It was,
and that was pretty cool because they have the 50 on the castle and all that. Anyway, and so Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Anyway, at every park there's rides, and so if you pay the $15, you go to the Lightning Lane. So the Lightning Lane's like the new Fast Pass.
Yeah.
Well, for the most part, if you do the individual Lightning Lane, you just about walk right on the ride.
Right.
But you paid $15 because you can only do it once. So you paid $15 to ride the ride to make sure that you got on there. So basically, you bought your way on it. Whereas before with the Fast Pass, you could renew it. Everybody got a certain allotment.
Right.
This one you get $15. You put your money down, and you can basically walk right onto the ride.
With the scour of everyone else watching you do stuff.
Kind of, yeah, because they have it set up to where there's two lines when you're walking through.
Right. It's like TSA pre-check.
I mean, basically it is.
I do kind of enjoy it, to be honest. I like walking through the pre-check line, looking at everybody else going, enjoy taking your belt and shoes and everything else.
Exactly. But now, the one thing it doesn't do, and now this starts at 7 in the morning, so you have to be up signing up. Okay, so Laura was up every morning signing up for stuff because we did it. I think we did it every day except we didn't do it the first day because we went in the evening. I think we did it. We did it all. We did it the other days. We were there, so we had a total of 6 park days if you count the day when we arrived. We did go in the evening and actually got to ride. So we had 5 full days where we bought this thing.
Yeah.
And so basically it takes a lot of the time out, but now it gives you an assigned time of when you can ride the ride, and you have an hour-long time span. So you have to show up during that that designated time, and they give you like a 15-minute grace period if a ride got stuck or something and you can't get over there. And the good news, most of the places in the park you can be pretty much anywhere in 10 to 15 minutes, even walking with kids in a stroller and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just the way things are kind of designed. You think it's this huge park, and it's like it is, but the way that they've designed
it's designed very well.
It's right, and it's so basically
Mickey knew what he was doing.
He did, right. So you don't drive yourself nuts. You do that, and then basically you get on the rides. Now you have to plan it, and so there was one day where everything was like overlapping with each other, including our meal, our breakfast, and I don't do well with rushing in that because I don't want to be late.
Right.
And I did look at said wife and said, "Man, can you not plan this better?" These are all And that was a mistake because she was like, are you up at 7? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm up. Are you on the phone dealing with all this stress? No, I'm not.
That's a negative. No.
I was like, oh, so so there's some stress with that, and then but basically we did it because otherwise you literally sit in line and wait all day.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. And so we were fortunate enough, and again, this is why we buy the generic Mio and the mustard and all that, applying that money. But basically, you're looking at somewhere around $100 a day extra on top of what you've already spent.
Well, since Disney's so cheap, that's not a big deal, right?
Right. Not so much. And so that and so for if we're fortunate enough. I mean, the way we budget the money, we spend our money on our vacations. I mean, that's what, so we made sure we had money. But basically, you buy your way onto all the rides. And so that took a lot of the stress out of it. And then, of course, the kid rides, most of the rides, you didn't have to wait very long.
Sure.
The first time we rode Dumbo, we did have to wait about 25 minutes. Kate headbutted me in the mouth in the play area at Dumbo, and I was like, I can't feel my face.
Well, elephants are slow, so you have to wait on that ride.
Right, exactly. And so basically, we bought our way on. I hate to put it in those terms, but
that's what you're doing. I mean, that's what
right. Yeah. And so that took some out. But again, we had a finite window of how long we could be there, and then they were done. So then Genius over here, which was, but again, we got to ride everything basically that we wanted, except nobody rode Slinky Dog because Callan wouldn't ride. So we didn't get to ride Slinky Dog at Hollywood Studios. And we didn't do the Rock and Roller Coaster, and I don't even remember why. I think that just got overlooked. But it's not my. It's a great ride but it's not really my favorite. Slinky Dog, I was a little hurt that we couldn't get anybody on. But everything else we did, and so it was great. And so then I booked on the last night. They have Mickey's Very Merriest Christmas Celebration.
Yeah,
which is additional charge per ticket for everybody 3 and up. Yeah, starts at 9:00. I have a 5 and a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
this was brilliant, Dave. I mean, sometimes I just wonder. I'm like, how did I get through school? Because this is, and I've got some common sense.
Call your professors and say, I'm sorry.
I've got some common sense. But so we booked that on the last night too.
Oh,
before we came back, and so anyway, so we go to that, and they have a full parade. They have fireworks. They have a performance show. So you have to get in there. And Disney does it right. I mean, they have a wall of humans blocking people who don't have, because you have your magic band plus you have this wristband.
Right.
They won't let you through unless you have the other wristband. Everybody 3 and up has to have. So, we've got our stuff. So they were all super nice. So we get in there, and bottom line is we watched the show, and that was all great. And I've kind of gotten a little out of order. But on that last day, anyway, we ate at Cinderella's Royal Table.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Cinderella's Royal Table because they have, they have this beef tenderloin that's delicious. The girls love it because they get to see the princess. It's different than when we went a couple years ago before COVID because all the princes came to the tables. They signed things. Now Cinderella just kind of comes in.
Is it like breakfast with princesses or whatever?
They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh.
Because they know how to get your money. That's right.
Of course they do.
So now just Cinderella comes out. Okay. Right. And that's kind of how, and of course they have the private viewing where you go through the line like you would for a ride, and there's 4 princes that you can see in the regular theme park stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but they're roped off and stuff to keep 6 feet apart and all that. But Cinderella comes to this lunch. We did lunch, and so when we're getting ready the day before, we've got it booked, and Laura lets me know. She's like, I think, didn't our stomachs get upset the last time we ate there? And I'm like, heck no, my stomach didn't get upset. And that was, code for the last time we ate there, it upset my stomach. Why are we doing this on the last day when we've got all this other stuff going on? So we eat there. And it's all good. And she's a trooper, and she's tough, and she's hoofing it and doing us. And we do our day, and other than being tired, we get back to the room, we go and swim. They went and swam.
Of course.
And I had to run some quick errands and get headphones for fireworks stuff. We go back that night.
Right.
With a couple of meltdowns in between, and
sure.
getting aggravated.
Sure.
We go back. We watch the show. Now here comes the parade. This is the first full-blown parade that they've reenacted at Disney.
Right.
Okay. Or restarted, I guess I should say. And it's the Christmas parade. So it's a real deal. It's like the old school, multiple floats. It lasts for several minutes. And they do it a couple different times, but I'm not sure how much residual the kids have got. So I'm like, we're watching the first show in case we want to leave.
Right.
Here comes a pat on my shoulder. And there's a, granted, we're in Main Street, USA. We're down there at the castle. Well, actually, we're not on Main Street. We're at the castle. And I've got the girls. We've got the stroller. We're parked up. Of course, it's crowded and busy. And her stomach's upset.
Yeah.
Now, every man has been here if you've got some kids.
Oh, yeah.
She now has to leave me with this parade coming with two girls that are so excited they can't stand themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just me.
Yeah.
With a stroller and a backpack and people around us. And we still have a couple minutes before the parade hits. And she's got to leave me.
Yeah.
The gauntlet has been thrown down. Laid down, I guess I should say. For Team Man. Can you handle it? And of course, in my mind, I'm going, wait a minute, you're going to leave me right now?
Right.
This is not it. Particularly when they both want to be up on my shoulders or held or whatever, because they want to be able to see better because I'm taller. And,
right.
And so she has to leave. And so now it's me and the girls, and it's still kind of hot, and
100 million people,
and 100 million people. The good news is they do limit how many people they let in at the night show.
Okay,
so there's only it was not crowded. Honestly, once we got away from the parade, the park itself is not crowded. It was amazing. And I'm like, why didn't we just do this for the one night, not go with not deal with any of the other stuff we dealt with? Because you basically walked on everything. I mean, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I walked on it. Literally, I mean, it's a long walk. And the fireworks going off at 11:15, and I'm cresting the hill of the Seven
that's
Dwarfs.
cool.
So I mean, it's a cool moment. No waits. Anyway, so we're back to this parade. So it's coming. And here it comes. And she's still not back. Because obviously she had to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
Got to find the bathroom. Stomach's upset. So again, dad of the year over here. She was trying to tell me this is not good if my stomach gets upset. And so again, she's handling it like a trooper. She's not complaining, so don't get me wrong.
Right.
But she's now left me.
Right.
Okay, so I'm chilling, doing this. Here comes the parade. She's still not back. Now Kate's on my shoulders. Callan's wanting me to hold her. Now Callan wants to stand up in the stroller because that's stable. Then we're getting
that seems safe.
Right. And then here comes it's everybody. It's all the princes, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Daisy, Chip and Dale. Santa comes through at the end, okay?
Yeah, right.
And we survive this, okay? And I'm like, that's right. Score one for Team Man, like I've actually done some. 1 for 100. The other 99 times Mama saved the day. And she's still not back. And I'm like,
okay, now what?
Now what do we do? So she's fine, but she can't get to us.
Right.
So she's all good. Everything's fine. But she can't get to us because of all the traffic from the parade. So like any smart one, I just start walking for Tomorrowland.
Sure. Why not?
Because they want cookies and cocoa.
Right.
And in the meantime, as we're walking down there, Callan gets in the stroller, and I'm walking kind of slow. Well, in that 3 minutes, she falls asleep. So now she's asleep. Kate won't get in the stroller. So now I'm carrying Kate. So I'm carrying her, pushing the stroller with a sleep human who's dead weight in there. And we can't find my wife. And we're trying to coordinate. And so that gets fun.
Did you ever begin to wonder if she thought, I'm just going to find another family? I'm just going to go away.
It might have crossed her mind. No, except for the girls. Me, she could have been, hey, I'm trading up. I'm going to get that upgrade. Right. I'm going to get that upgrade. We're here at Disney. Let me just go ahead and upgrade me. Do they have individual lightning lane passes for that? What can I do? So
are they filming The Bachelorette in South Florida now?
Exactly, right. And so we end up, we go and try to get the cocoa and the cookie. And so I'm going up the ramp to Cosmic Rays because that's the spot where they have all this. And there's a guy at the top of the ramp, okay? I mean, we're talking it's 15, 20 feet to push the thing up. So I'm holding one kid, okay?
Right.
35 pounds, who's squirming and dancing around. The other kid who's 50 pounds is asleep in the stroller. I'm pushing the double stroller. This guy watches me get all the way up to the top. And he's a young guy. I get up there and he goes, "Oh no, you can't use this entrance. You have to go around to where the candy canes are." And I'm like, "Dude, I just pushed this up 20 feet straight uphill," which was, I mean, it wasn't that awful, but I had just carried her from the castle down to Tomorrowland and pushed the stroller and navigated some traffic. And I'm like, "Dude, you could have hollered at me down at the bottom." And didn't, and he, and it's almost like he got a little bit of gain out of doing that. So anyway, so we go around, we get her Coco. Still can't find my wife. She's still not back. So then she comes in the other side of Tomorrowland, and we miss her again. and anyway, so Callan's asleep. Kate's drinking the cocoa. Kate doesn't like the snickerdoodle cookie. And then finally we coordinate with my wife, and she just got that look of, "I've walked all over Earth now." And I told you about Cinderella's roll table and you didn't listen. And so then it gets better. So then Kate falls asleep. Callan gets second wind. We shut the park down at 1:00.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had to drive back the next day. That same day, because we didn't go to bed till 2:30, and then we were up trying to drive back. But it was a good time. Overall.
Was it really? I mean, I'm looking at you here, and I don't know that I believe you.
That's why I drank this bang.
Just to be honest with you.
The night thing was really cool. I mean, and the fact that you didn't have to wait, because Callan was so excited once her sister fell asleep, because then she was like, "I get to ride whatever I want, and my daddy or my mommy goes with me, and this one's asleep. Oh, I want a Mickey Mouse, ice cream. We can do this if I want this, I want that." So it was perfect. So lots of good memories made just in that time frame there.
Yeah.
And because being the younger, Kate does get more of the attention with stuff because we have to. She just requires more.
Sure.
Callan's more independent.
Sure.
So it was kind of fun for her. So I mean, all that stuff, getting to see that, and the fact that we did get to do some stuff together, was really worth it. And I'm glad that we got to do that. But then of course we were exhausted, and then it took us 13 hours to get home because of traffic. So the stress that it puts on you, does it really equal out? I don't know.
I can tell you the answer if you want to know.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. But to see their faces and all that, and it's, again, part of it is it's a perspective thing. I have to say, they're 5 and 3.
Right.
They got to do the stuff that they love. We've got these fun pictures and all this stuff. And so I think if we go back, I think that's the biggest thing I'm going to have to work on to not drive myself nuts, because, they are,
or stay at a hotel without a pool,
or stay.
One or the other. I made that mistake.
The Comfort Inn and Suites.
I made that mistake once. We went to Legoland, and I got this historic Hilton in Buckhead.
Oh, nice.
And nice Hilton, not cheap. It's a Hilton in Buckhead.
With a pool.
Without a pool.
Oh, no.
And the first thing Landon says is, "Hey, so where's the pool?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I guess it's indoors." So we go downstairs, and we're like, "Hey, where's the pool?" And we don't have a pool. And I'm like, "Oh." So Landon was excited about Legoland, but really excited about the pool.
It matters. I tell you, and that's again, and there wasn't.
The rest of the weekend. The rest of the weekend.
That's what he perseverated on.
Lindsay goes, "You got to get you have to get a hotel with a pool." And I'm like, "It's like this historic downtown Hilton.
That's super nice.
It's super nice, but it doesn't have a pool." Okay, so it doesn't have a pool. So we would have been fine at the Motel 7 or something,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Comfort Inn Suites, Motel 6, they all have
with
pools.
The doors on the outside of the room.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, dude. No,
that's as long as it had a pool, that's all they cared about.
That's it. Like I said, the pool, the monorail, the teacups, carousel, and the flying saucer ride. If we had just done those 5 things.
That was it. That would have been
and they're happy.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what Callan was talking. She's like, "I had so much fun." I'm like, cross-eyed, stressed out. again, it's a perspective thing. And I think as they get older, like I said, if we go back, it'll be interesting because we may be in the same boat, what you were describing. If everybody feels differently about stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own interests. What do you do? Because that just makes it even.
Yeah, just
even
turn them
worse.
loose. They're old enough.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Yeah, no one would abduct them in Disney
Nah,
World.
it's not a big deal.
Nobody.
Everybody's friendly and happy
that's,
right?
That's right, except that guy at the top of the ramp.
Except that guy, except the jackass at the top of the ramp at Disney.
He was from Ohio. he really was. It was. You know, because they have their name. I don't remember his name. It's like Steve or something. But no, he really was from Ohio. That is
his last name Meyer?
No. Oh, God, wouldn't that have been terrible? Okay. I mean, like, I know you.
And then at least you know he's in a bad mood.
Truth, right. So, yeah, but no, and to your point, when we go on vacations,
yeah,
it is stressful. I mean, and it's a lot of work. I mean, the parents work.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think most parents would speak that and say, yes, it's a lot of prep work. You know, you're getting the car loaded, you're making sure you've got what you need, or at least you can find a Walmart or whatever to get what you need if you forget it. If you forget some things, you're in trouble.
That's right.
And then if you don't have a pool, I mean, my father-in-law, he's brilliant because if we go on family vacation, that's like he's like, we have to have a pool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he'll stay, 6 miles from the beach to make sure we have a pool because, what do the kids want?
They want the pool.
They want the pool.
Yeah. That ocean's cool and everything.
Papa's smart. Papa's smart. You know,
right.
and my wife is the same way. Their minds work alike. She's like, no, pragmatic. We've got to have these couple of things. But that doesn't always. anyway. So yeah. But no, it's the stress. I would. Obviously, I would do it again. It is hard, and with them being younger, you have to just keep that in mind of, okay, as long as we do these things and they're enjoying themselves, it doesn't have to be all out. And Laura did a good job when we went once before and they loved it. And they were, they didn't want to go back to the pool. They weren't doing this. They weren't doing that. And this time it's just kind of different interests. It's just a different thing. And I think that part, I just have to keep that in mind. Like I said, if we go again, that's what we got to do.
Yeah. Sounds like
I can see in your face. You just say it.
Like
yep. So you notice I did not shave, so you could see some of the white in my beard that actually just appeared during the trip. It was not present.
It happens.
It was not present before.
It definitely happens. Believe me, I know. All right. Well, we're at like an hour 16. So hey, we did cut it. We cut it shorter.
We shaved a full 9 minutes off.
That's right.
That's awesomeness.
We took your wife's advice.
It's right. That's it.
There you go.
She will tell you, and it'll be a good idea. Good stuff.
I did want to get. I did have a story. We'll do it next time. But Stephen kind of had a little accident and went and visited a local orthopedic.
That'll be episode
clinic.
Number 3. Was it his third digit?
It was first digit.
Oh,
first digit.
We already had the first show.
Yeah. So it was first digit, but it was an experience. I'm questioning where they're finding their employees, but that's just kind of where it's at. But it's a good story.
We'll save it for number 3.
Yeah, we'll save it for number 3.
Thank y'all for listening to us.
We appreciate it.
We'll be back soon.
That's right. We'll see you. Have a good week. And hey, Merry Christmas to everybody.
That's right. Merry Christmas. We'll be back in the new year.
That's right. Back in the new year. Merry Christmas.
See ya.